What's up everybody, it's RobinGaming here. So I wanted to talk with you a bit about a video that was uploaded by Gamesbeat very recently. It was one of their, accordingly, games journalists with 25 years of gaming experience according to his Twitter profile. But basically it was one of their journalists playing through the tutorial level and the very first level of Cuphead. Now, what followed is a very kind of like controversial thing that was shared a lot on Twitter, because basically the whole point or the whole thing was that the guy absolutely sucked at it, and it wasn't even funny anymore. It was straight up embarrassing. There was a part in like the tutorial section of the game where the game is outright telling him what to do, right? And this is one of those situations of a platforming game which we've all played many of, right? And we all know that the moment you see a situation like this, you know what you're supposed to do. The game is kind of like showing you this big block, which I'll show you in the video right now as well. It's showing you this like big block that you're supposed to get on. There's a smaller one next to it, and the game is telling you to do a certain move, the dash move that makes you able to go forward very quickly. So what you're obviously supposed to do is quickly jump in a small one, get the extra height that way, and you're able to simply make it up to the bigger one. But this guy, what pretty much followed is him him struggling 2 minutes through to actually get on it. It's the full definition of insanity, where he's just trying constantly and constantly over and over again to get on the bigger one simply from the ground, which is obviously never gonna work that way, right? And so a lot of people, you know, were pretty much asking me like, Robin, are you really surprised by this, or what is your reaction towards this gameplay? What do you have to share about it? And really, I gotta tell you, I'm not even that very surprised by this at all. I've been seeing it going on more and more recently, where you just see these certain game reviewers where, you know, they have their opinions about games and they share them and they reach big audiences, right? Many people who take their opinions on video games very seriously, but at the same time, once you actually see them play these games, you realize they really like aren't even either very good at them, and therefore also like don't even play video games that much, you know? Or some people simply don't even have really like a passion for video games. They just review them because they're working at a certain company, or because that way, you know, they can get viewers and they have many people watching them, so of course they're making money with it that way. But at the same time, these people aren't even really like gamers, you know what I mean? And so that's something that I personally find very important, and I've noticed that more and more recently, is that when I look at certain you know, YouTubers or people that do reviews about gaming, if I want to take those people seriously, I need to simply know that they actually play their games. And so I have, you know, I have like a select group of people who I like to watch reviews from and stuff, but I know that they actually do that. They live stream, you know, they have their profiles on public, they never make it a big deal to share, you know, whether they actually like beat the game, how many hours they put into it, what difficulty they played on, what, you know, just overall what they played of the game, right? And some people do that. There's just a lot of deceiving stuff going on nowadays with reviewers that don't actually even want to tell you how much of a certain game they played. And this is the thing, we all make mistakes, right? Like, all of us will have that experience sometimes where we play a video game and we fuck up. I literally very recently had the most embarrassing moment, which I'm kind of like, you know, even too ashamed of to share on this video, but I'm gonna do it anyway. I was playing PlayerUnknown Battlegrounds on Twitch. I had, you know, like I had over 100 people watching me, and you know, I was still in this, I was like basically in the top 7 people that were still alive. It's this game where, you know, you drop 100 people on the map, and so I was like one of the only ones still alive, together with my teammate and 5 other people. And granted, I was streaming the game on Twitch, so I got distracted a bit with the chat, and I was trying to interact with them and stuff, and so therefore, you know, like that added a little bit more of a reason as to why I made that mistake. But basically, I had my teammate coming up to me. I didn't realize that was him. I straight up shot him in the face, and I didn't even realize I had done that until my other teammates told me, why the fuck did you just kill your teammate? You know what I mean? It was, once again, it was just embarrassing. I felt absolutely terrible once that actually happened. And then, you know, it happens. Like, we all have those moments, like I said. But this is something different. This was a guy who was playing a tutorial level of the game where it outright tells him what he's supposed to do. It involves maybe pressing 2 or 3 buttons. There is no freedom. You're not left to your own choices. You're not left to actually choose yourself what you're going to do in a certain situation. No, you're straight up only supposed to do what the game tells you. And this guy was not able to follow those orders. And, you know, that's what I mean. Like, I just can't take people like that seriously, because he was even defending it on Twitter. He was seriously telling all the people that were kind of like giving him flack for it. He was telling them, oh, you give me your first minutes of gameplay once you actually get to play Cuphead. I'd like you to see, I'd like to see you play the game. He was already saying that the game, apparently according to him, simply was very hard. But how am I supposed to take his opinion about Cuphead being hard seriously when I know like how he performs at this game, right? I mean, we all with the slightest amount of experience would be able to make it through this tutorial section just fine if you watch it. It's really not that hard. So the fact that some people, including himself and also some people around him, are still defending it, I don't really get that myself. And I'm not gonna call out any names or something, but I've had other reviewers where I've just noticed questionable stuff. I've seen very popular reviewers, for example, playthrough Uncharted 4, they were like halfway through the game and called the shooting mechanics in the game straight up trash, even though they were simply terrible at it, turned on lock-on aim and played the entire way through with that option on, and you had people defend that. You had people say, well, he's allowed to play the game the way he wants to, right? Why are you making a big deal about it? But my point simply is, these are people who are supposed to take very seriously with their opinions on video games. These are people who reach massive audiences, lots of people that if they say the mechanics in the game suck, these people are gonna, believe that and therefore not even maybe buy the game. And we all have that sometimes where you play your first 5 matches in a multiplayer game and you suck at it. What is the thing you're gonna say? You're gonna say this game sucks, but that doesn't always have to be true. It could also simply be you not able to actually like get a grasp of the mechanics or take the patience to get good at the game, right? You can't tell if the mechanics are good or bad until you've at least put in enough hours and time and effort into the video game to find out if they are bad or not. So that's just my biggest thing. And in a world where nowadays we already have people complaining and saying ludicrous stuff about, this game sucks because it doesn't have a female protagonist, or, just outright like insanely ludicrous stuff that's being said sometimes in reviews, I can of course not take that, any of that seriously, because I judge a game based on the quality of the game and no factors like that. But I think another thing that I find very important is that I know that the people who are reviewing a game actually played the game, and that I know from them that they in general play their games, that they have a passion for it, that they like doing so, that they're invested into it, and that they know, what a good game, how a good game is made, like what are the biggest factors of a good game, right? And so yeah, like I said, you've got some deceiving people that make their profiles private, that don't want people to know how much they actually play games, that will not tell you what difficulty they played it on, what trophies they got, whether they actually beat it, how many hours they put into the game. And then yeah, I'm just not, once again, it's just my personal choice, and I'm not telling you to be like that too, but this is how I do it. I only take people seriously in their gaming opinions when I know they simply play their games. And there's a lot of bullshit going on nowadays where some people are simply hiding too much for me to actually take them seriously. So with that being said, those were my honest thoughts on this whole, controversy about the Cuphead video. So let me know your own thoughts in the comments, of course. And then for now, hope you really enjoyed the video. Leave a quick like if you did, and then I'd like to thank you a lot for watching, and hope to see you again next time.